You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the November 13th meeting for the LaPorte County Election Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good afternoon. We're going to call to order this meeting of the LaPorte County Election Board. It's November 13th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Please stand and join us for the pledge. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Heather Stevens.
Present.
John Lake.
Present.
And I'm Katie Bowen, also present. Agenda is made available and to all members. Is there a motion to entertain approval of the agenda?
I'd so move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Minutes were provided for,
I believe it is the March 21st meeting and the June 13th. And again, if you guys want to take those home and look them over.
Yeah, there's a lot of pages here. I don't.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So I would move to table that till next meeting. We can prove. I know we're going to be meeting soon again.
Yep.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Any public comment?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Steve Hollifield, 6782 East 100 South Mill Creek. Just a couple quick questions about the LaPorte County precinct boundary changes. Is that pertaining to the taking of the ground on 39 North, what they call annexation? And if so, if there's any cost incurred on that, is the city going to reimburse your office for doing this work?
We're not quite there yet. That is on the agenda today.
Okay.
And actually, Angie Hensman, voters registration, took over this project.
Okay.
They were fantastic.
Okay.
So we'll have a lot of questions for Angie.
Okay,
when she
good.
gets up here.
I think the city should pay for that since they did it. Thank you.
Any other individuals for public comment? Hearing none, we will move on. Old business. At prior meetings, we talked about both items listed in old business, the first being the committee to elect Joey Winsky treasurer. This matter is not up for any hearing today, simply that it's part of old business, and I'm moving to table the issue for a later date when we can give proper notice to both Ms. Winsky, her attorney, and the proxy for Ms. Stevens. Is there a second?
I'd second that.
I'm sorry. I don't have a proxy for that one. It was just a Democratic Civic Club. Mr. Slabaugh he sat in for me during that because I was hospitalized.
Correct. Thank you for that. Okay, so I will amend the motion to remove the proxy portion only. John, do you still second?
Yeah, I'll still second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. 463 GOP.
This is just for information purposes. I don't think we're going to need a formal hearing on this. As you know, there was a complaint. It was like an email, but there was a complaint filed against the 463 GOP, and I know both of you guys are members and can't vote on this, so there's not going to be a vote, but I just want to bring, at that time, there's information provided by Mr. Stabos back in, gosh, I want to say January, February, of what the finances were. And then we finally got this is the first meeting since I've gotten the actual bank account records. And looking at the records and then looking at the rule, you know, the rule is, so everyone knows, is that an auxiliary party organization, which this would qualify as, means an organization located within or outside Indiana that is affiliated with a political party, proposes to influence the election of a candidate for state, legislative, local, or school board office or the outcome of a public question, and has not had an annual budget of $5,000 or more in at least one of the last 2 years, or be made a contribution more than $1,000 to another committee or to a candidate. And that's this is a definition under the election code. It's at 3-5-2-2.5 for the definition of auxiliary party organization. So looking at the finances of this for 23 and 24, I just want to, be transparent with everybody in the community. My numbers from what I went through the bank account differed slightly, but it doesn't change the result. In 2023, they fell under the 463 GOP, fell under the $5,000 amount, which then would push them to be an auxiliary party organization, not go above that. And then in 2024, obviously that was an election year, so their amount was slightly, if you look at it, it was $10,010 was their expenditure. But $28 or $29 of that, which put them over the 10,000, was for checks. And so, it wasn't for, most of it was for meeting costs at Portofino's. I don't see, this is like a DOI where it's a .08 and a person, blows .08 right on the line and you don't know whether they're going up or down. I don't think that this is a situation where this needs to be referred to a special prosecutor or to the prosecutor's office. It's just because of the 2023 fell below the budget. So I wanted to bring that. There was a question about in 2022 an expenditure to one candidate over $2,000, but we're beyond the time limit for that to go back and look at that according to what the previous thing with the Democrats. So I would say that that complaint be denied without. And I know you guys can't vote, but I just say I just close this. I've looked at it. I went through the bank accounts, went through the expenditures. I don't find any violation other than maybe the 10,000. And we get into the whole thing of what is the budget. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. That's never really been explained under the rules, the election rules. It's something we've talked about here. Yes. It's been something that's up in the air. And this, I know personally that the Indiana Campaign Finance Manual has been changed over the years for various just definitions, things that happen, because it's kind of that. But I think in the scheme of transparency, this just doesn't need to go any further. So I just want to give an update on that and what my conclusions were. So.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. New business, LaPorte County precinct boundary changes. Heather.
So in 2021 or 22, I think it was 22, I had to do the congressional redistricting. I was ripping my hair out. So when voters registration stepped up and they were like, hey, we've got this, I was like, bless you, because Angie Hensman, I think, kind of took the lead on this. Angie, if you want to come up. And I did share with the board, I printed off everything for you guys. They have the memorandum, they have the emails from you, the new precinct key, just everything that you sent to me, they have.
Very good.
So I don't know if you want to.
Well, just to explain, general explanation, this is in response to the annexations of the city of LaPorte. So when they annexed all of that land, be it the North 39 North or the area by Microsoft down in the southern area, also by the airport, and there's a small section that butts up to the Kankakee precinct. Those are all annexations that have happened during these election years that we couldn't touch because it was during election years. So in the off year, we had to look at what are our boundaries for our precincts, our voting blocks, and does that match what the annexation is. So we had to go through this process. It's been like almost all year, back and forth with the state. They have approved our plans with the updated maps. The ones you have in front of you came from the state, the maps that were given. So they have approved the plans. We sent it to the Census Bureau. The Census Bureau approved the plans. And also the election board, the state election board approved the plans. So it's in your court now. Any questions?
Thank you for doing the work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I do have a couple of questions, and I think one of them you pretty much answered as soon as I walked in. But the one thing that I was asked immediately from the same person you were, did this affect any elected precinct committee people from I know you said no from the Republican side, but you were going to check the Democrat side?
Right. I don't believe that I looked at who the precinct is for the Democrat side. I don't believe that area was affected
Okay.
yet. I mean, I think that's up in the air still, but
Okay.
that was the concern, like, right, if they were an elected precinct committee person, would we have to, what would we do? But I don't think we have any issues with that.
And I think if we find that that did happen, we'll figure it out. We
Yeah.
will work with the state,
Yeah.
we'll work it through. It's what we do. And then, as Mr. Hollifield said, Commissioner Hollifield, is there any cost?
So the cost, I think, is going to be associated with the mailing that we do to the couple hundred households or so, because we do need to let all of them know that their precincts have changed. It is a big change. They go from county to city, so they'll be voting in municipal elections now. So, yeah, we do need to do, and I would be able to do a mailing relatively easy. The system generates it, but we would need the stamps. So, yeah.
Okay.
And is that the notice of proposed precinct boundary changes that is included in the packet? Is this the notice you need to mail out?
We don't have to notice or propose notice to all of the residents. That goes in the newspaper, right?
Yeah, what you're looking at, Katie, is what I have to publish
Okay.
with the newspaper. And
Okay.
again, Commissioner Hollifield, I will, whatever expense is accrued there, I will then bring to you and you go see, yes, you go see the mayor. And you said it's roughly 100 and some, like 165, 170
Right, it was like,
voters.
was more than that. I sent it in an email to you. I think it was around the 400 range, maybe?
Oh, what?
It was a bit, but I know it was more than 160.
Okay.
Voters, I was counting voters.
Okay. But they will be notified.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep, so that'll be a mailing that we can get out as soon as we have everything approved.
Okay. And Taylor, once this is done, we can blast it everywhere, right? We can do a post from the election board's Facebook page and,
Yeah. Yep.
okay.
And it's not like we're making up these are not like arbitrary lines. Like, this is just following the new annexation lines that the city of LaPorte has put out there. So.
Okay. So does this mean everybody can stop making changes now until we get through these next 3 elections?
That'd be great. I don't see it happening, but that would be great.
Right?
Yep.
Again, Angie, thank you so much, because, wow,
Welcome.
that's a lot of work.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And it didn't create any new precinct, just changed boundaries of some of the already existing precincts?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
There were some that we thought we were going to have to do some switching around, but they
Right.
fell within the exception codes. So, yeah, all of that is in the IEC 8s. If you look, it'll tell you what exception code that falls under.
Perfect.
And everything has been looked over by the state election board, so they took it with a fine tooth comb.
So,
And I guess, just so we can read, so so we're clear on which ones, because I mean, they're going to know, but if you live in Center 1, or LaPorte 28, LaPorte 25, Kankakee 1, LaPorte 35, Scipio 1, and Pleasant, or LaPorte 41, those are the ones that are going to be, the
But I
lines
would-
are being adjusted.
I would say, though, the only ones that have residents that are being affected is LP 25 and Center 1.
Okay.
So, and they know that they've been brought into the city already. Those are the individuals whose voting is just going to change.
Yeah,
But all the other ones, we're talking the airport, nobody living out there.
Sure.
We're talking Microsoft, there's nothing there. So none of the other positions affected voters.
Okay. That's good to know.
so this way we can make sure that those who are paying those city taxes are voting in those city elections.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Now, at the board level, do we need to vote now, or do we need to wait until the notice goes out and gives the residents the opportunity to file any issues? This says December 1st, they can object?
they can, and the paper actually states that. And I think this, section 2, this order becomes effective upon the approval of these precincts by the Indiana Election Division, provided that no objection is filled, that may be a typo, by a voter of the county with the Indiana Election Division by noon 10 days after publication of this notice of the proposed precinct establishment order, or if a timely objection is filed by a voter of the county, then upon the approval of the Indiana Election Commission after a hearing pursuant to IC 3-11-1.5.
Okay.
So my understanding is we have to approve this and sign this, and then I can publish
That makes sense.
into the paper.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Ms. Hensman or the board?
Just thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and thank you for coming today to explain this to us. I appreciate it. Do we want to read the order into the record before we vote?
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay. Before the board is an order to consider which states, whereas IC 3-11-1.5 requires that precinct boundaries be established and revised in compliance with that law, whereas pursuant to IC 3-11-1.5-36, the Board of Commissioners on March 20th, 2025 has adopted an order to delegate all of its responsibilities for the establishment of precincts under IC 3-11-1.5, including the alteration or amendment of the precincts submitted with this order to obtain approval of the precincts by the Indiana Election Division or the Indiana Election Commission, and has filed a copy of that order with the Indiana Election Division. Now, therefore, be it ordered by the LaPorte County Election Board, Section 1, the LaPorte County Election Board hereby establishes and revises the boundaries of certain precincts within the county. A precinct description and map of the boundaries of each precinct established and submitted to the Indiana Election Division by this order is attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference. Section 2, this order becomes effective upon the approval of these precincts by the Indiana Election Division, provided that no objection is filed by a voter of the county with the Indiana Election Division by noon, 10 days after the publication of notice of the proposed precinct establishment order, or if a timely objection is filed by a voter of the county, then upon the approval of the Indiana Election Commission after a hearing pursuant to IC 3-11-1.5. Any further questions?
No, I would just make a modification instead of filled, say filed.
Yes.
On the
This
second line,
actually
it says-
comes from the state,
Oh,
and I don't want to modify.
Well-
Not to mention that if I make a change to this, I have to get you two together at the same place at the same time to sign it, and I have to get this published.
I was just going to, just,
Okay.
Just mark it
John's
an
now says
initial.
filed.
it says,
filled.
instead of
It
filled.
says filled, so you might have noticed I said filled and then filed because it didn't really make grammatical sense.
doesn't make-
I'm with you.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
John wants to strike it and have us all initial.
I'm going to publish this sucker as is.
All right. I just want, if you have an objection, you got to file it, don't fill it.
Don't fill the objection.
Yeah. So I'd move to adopt it.
I would second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Could I get you guys
Motion
to
carries.
sign one copy for publication and a copy for our elections binder? Also, there will be copies of the maps and this order available in the clerk's office. And we can make them available over on voters as well.
Thanks. Do you want to put the date on the copy too?
Yep.
All right. Next item of new business is elections conference. It is that time of year where the election conference is coming up. It's held in Indianapolis the week of December 15th, 16th, and 17th. There are members of the board, of the clerk's office and voters registration that are already planning to attend. Any additional information you'd like to give?
I have you guys registered. I have your rooms booked. I did send out information to both party chairs so that they would have the opportunity to attend and to learn. But the county's not paying for that one, sorry. But other than that, no, just go and get the knowledge, and they're not making the IC code books for us anymore.
Oh.
And I don't even know how to go forward without that thing. So hopefully they're gonna have something. I'm sure it's gonna be all online, yeah. But I don't like that. I don't know. I'm one of those. I've got to have my little sticky notes, and I've
like
got
that book.
my highlighter, and I like a book. So this is gonna drive me nuts, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, I like that book.
Me too. That's like a Bible. That's serious stuff.
Well,
I guess we just have to start memorizing all these codes now, right? Yeah, probably not.
probably not. No. I know we had previously brought up during this meeting that after the election conference, if there was anything new or substantially different, that it would be beneficial for anyone running for office if we hosted some kind of training or, Q&A, anything that helps the candidates move forward during the election time.
Yeah.
So we may want to consider a time frame to do that, maybe in February, January. I know they have to declare, and there's a period of time to declare. So if they've declared and there's additional information that we want to get out, we might want to do that shortly after.
Yeah, I think that once they declare, they have to get their campaign finance reports have to start coming in. They have to get their committee set up and things like that. So I would think if we're going to do it in January, I'd like to do it pretty early so that we can help them get through that process.
That's a good idea. We could do that too.
Even if we did it in this room.
Right,
I don't care. I don't care if it's an evening, a Saturday. I don't care.
right. And just something informal where if they have a question about how they fill out a form, they bring it here.
Yeah.
It's time to ask questions, and collectively, I think we could probably help most people with the forms. They're not ideal. They're not super easy to figure out.
I think especially if you're new. If you're new, you're just looking at that like, what?
They're all, I mean, they're difficult. They're difficult to read and review. They're difficult to write. And they're all around not the best form ever. So if we can make it any easier for candidates and continue to have candidates running for office, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Any board member comments?
Well, you're talking about redistricting. Hopefully we'll be back here soon.
I said
What,
when I
John?
had to do that last time, I literally said, I will never have to do this again because I'll be termed out and gone.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
Who knows?
Now on number 9 needs to say positive board member
Okay.
comments.
I was just saying, it's, but I would just say, we haven't met in a while, but happy Thanksgiving to everyone coming up, and have a Merry Christmas or whatever you practice your religion that time of year. So it's getting to the end of the year. I can't believe it already. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say. And I am going to the conference, elections conference down in Indianapolis, but I may not be able to be there for the last day. I'm trying to get coverage, but I've got to be in court, and I got a speedy trial starting on the 18th. So
okay.
I don't know that I'll be there for Monday and Tuesday. I know for sure, but not Wednesday. May not.
Okay. Tuesday's really the heaviest,
That's what I thought.
the most information, especially election.
Yeah.
The stuff you really need to know is on Tuesday.
So I'm trying to get coverage, but we'll see.
Okay. No, have a happy Thanksgiving. Well, I'm sure we'll be here again before Christmas, but
Yeah, it's the intention that we'll be
was
here one
optimistic.
more time before the end of the year. But if we don't see everyone, have a great holiday season, and then we'll see you all in 2026. Crazy.
yeah.
So, meeting is adjourned.